Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. Of course there is a Vulkan directory. Hello. Shai Gunting. So I'm currently demanding that, say, an application that uses my Vulkan engine. Well, let's just use a triangle as an example. Nothing. Yeah, so that has to be including Vulkan application, for example. That is, I want to use the Vulkan engine header application and then demand that the directory is put in front of it. That could theoretically clash with trying to include a header from the real Vulkan, I suppose. You enter all live YouTube apps, or all apps? You mean all streams? The point is, maybe I should not use a Vulkan. Maybe I should use Linux Vulkan. Or, well, no, Linux Viewer actually. Vulkan is a bit too, yeah, well, it's not my project name. Let's put it that way. It makes more sense to include headers from a project by project name. And I'm not even sure about the project name yet. Maybe Linux Viewer is not a very good name. I guess it's not going to clash because I'm only including headers and the real Vulkan, wherever that is. So not just installed and user include. Yes, it is. Oh, that definitely has .h things. But, I don't see anything that I would be using, but the music is too loud, you think? Or what is it? The whole sound is not loud. Yeah, I know. I'll try not to make sudden loud noises. I definitely don't. So I think I might keep Vulkan, at least for now, as the leading directory for my includes. Though, yeah, probably should think about a better a project name, and then I could use that as the directory name. See, my voice comes till -10 decibel, and when I talk really softly, it's like -16, even -20. But I can get till all the way in the red. So if say if I talk like this, is this a normal volume according to you? If it is, then I have my volume set correctly. That is, I don't want to, if I talk like this, you could say just don't talk that close to the microphone, because then it starts to be distorted. If I talk super close to the microphone, that would definitely be better, but I just can't, so I talk always like this. If there is a lot of noise in the background, that would be bad, but otherwise you'll have to turn up the volume a little bit. And then if you switch to someone else on the, you'll get punished by loud noises. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I used to listen to my own voice, but in order to do that, I need an extremely low latency. And at some point, it stopped working. So now I'm not having a high latency, and I do not listen to myself anymore. Hello, Janko Bester. Yeah, thanks, man. It has been like this for 2 years or for a long time. Seems to work. Kickoff is, yeah, I don't want to make it a chess stream, really. I feel I can do it at the end, because then people can just leave. But if I begin, it should be about C++, right? Yeah, let's fix this inline stuff. So I have a few inline things, like find name star dot inline dot h, and then I can simply set a macro whenever I use them. Not when I use them. Well, maybe also. So you can include include inline headers inside your own headers. So you gonna need a pragma, right? It's a header. I'm gonna add a pragma. Pragma once, I mean. That one already had it. And that one also. And that one also. I think that the inline stuff is needed whenever you include a normal header. Let's say if I include vertex buffers.h, and then you have this thing, which is then defined in the dot inline thing. So this bind vertex buffers, which defines bind, as well as a template. Let's go with that. So what if I include a define here at the end, I think. Define. Wait, this thing has a pragma. So I can do define needs vertex buffers I think I need I should use a prefix, right, to make it more, to make it not clash with other macros that people might use. Normally I just use CW, but let's use LV for link, sure. I already did this one, right? Or not? I think I did this one, yep. Then That will be the last one. Yep. I have a lot of other defines, which I probably should also prefix with LV then. Hello, Spirit Storm. I'm making a lot of global changes suddenly. Anyway. So now I need a general header that will do all the includes, the inline stuff. How shall we call that? Goes here anyway, and then we'll call it. We don't need that anymore. VI. Is that a good name? We might need this more than once, I think, because if I put it in a header, then maybe later another header is included, which requires even more inline stuff. So I just have to do the if def LV needs, and then the stuff, and a list of that. But now if you include this again, then I don't think I want to include it again as well here. I mean, you only want to include every inline header once. I suppose you could add an undef for this thing inside the inline header. Or I could do that here. It maybe makes more sense. Put it there. I'm thinking, you know, like, now what happens if people include that directly? Then this is not undefined. So then this includes it again. So you're not allowed anymore to include it yourself. And therefore I probably, or maybe, I don't know, I should put it somewhere else. Something not too, yeah, I don't know. The whole dot inline dot h is weird in itself, weird enough in itself, I guess. You can just imagine that someone wants to include a single dot inline dot h and not the rest. So I have more control. On the other hand, then they could do the undef themselves if they know what they're doing afterwards. I don't know, maybe it's kind of feels like I want to do the undef inside the header though. Definitely makes more sense in the sense that once you include it, then you don't want to include it again, right? Oh, do you? Shouldn't hurt for inline stuff. Now we're talking about a single compilation unit, so I think it's kind of stupid to include it twice. I think I'll move them to the header file themselves. Create info. Well, it should not compile anymore, right? Well, not link anymore. It still links. Huh? Oh, yeah, no, of course. Because I'm still including them directly now. So I better look for all the places where I'm currently including an inline .h file. In this case, I just know. I mean, if I have to control myself over the .cxx file, then I might as well include them directly like that. Okay, I know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's especially the tests that need to be changed, I think. So all of these. And here's an interesting one, an inline that includes an inline. Okay, I think I'll leave these untouched, this too. And then that's interesting to look at. And the rest should be changed to include this instead. I think I can also better leave this one untouched. The vertic buffers is going to define that. If it wasn't already included before. If it was included before, which is probably not the case, but if it was, then the LV needs is already defined. And the pragma1 stops it from including it again. But it's still defined anyhow, and then we do this, which undefines it again. So from that moment on, it will never be included. Or what happens if we include this one first and then include this file? Then that would not work. That would not work. Well, that would work if this one also has a pragma. So if you say you do not include this, but you do include that, that would be nonsense anyway. So if that happened before this, yeah, okay. But I think it's actually okay the way it is now. Then the only thing I'm going to change are all of these, because they are tests. Let's begin with simply removing everything. No, just do. See that it stops linking. Okay, now we get linker errors. And then we'll include this instead. And then it should be fixed again. Now think about it. Probably should do all the normal headers as well with angle brackets. I mean the normal, the other git submodules. You should use, I mean, I'll reiterate myself, but you should use double quotes when you have a path that is relative to the current header file or the current file that includes it. Which is not the case, of course, here, because I have, we are compiling Linux viewer application.cxx, which resides in Linux viewer source, and EVO is in Linux viewer, not in source. So either I should do dot slash and then we have it relative to the current directory, or I should use angle brackets. Now, I created a habit of using quotes when it is my own header file, but that's not the way you should use double quotes. So to me, it's like everything that's double quotes that's written by me under my control, and everything that has angle brackets, that is some third-party header file. But officially, that's not the correct way. And maybe I should just change that after decades of being used to that. And so this file here is in the current directory. That is in source, I think. I hope. Yeah, I'm sure. sys.h is not, by the way. Oh, that's gonna be extra painful to change that. I'm just so used to that. Anyway, yesterday I decided to switch from double quotes to angle brackets for Vulkan. And if I do that in my test application, this is kind of a special case. So I'll leave this like this, but now it compiles again. Or links again, I should say. So these are really tests that are like, yeah, well, no, not really. Maybe I should not put hello triangle in tests, because it's not a test, it's an example. course, you can use these also as example, but difficult decisions. It's not a test anyway. Shall I just make it a directory example? Or examples? I suppose I should. But for now I'm going to treat these as examples as well. So we want to replace this with what the hell it was. Linux viewer inline definitions.h. Now there's another Vulkan header below it, so you don't think it's really safe to do that here. It really should be at the bottom. And then I'll switch for these to also use angle brackets for the SIG modules. Now I think about it, there is another difference, right? You have system files and non-system files. So you can do on the command line, you can have an includes for system files, something like system directory. I'm not sure if this is then always considered to be a system file or not. If that's the case, then there is another difference for which it would make sense to use double quotes. Boy Ross, yes, I'm using Arch Linux. What is this? Uniform poverty is 9. Yeah. Test. Gusander, hello. Well, of course, software should be correct. Yeah, there's a big problem with how companies write software, I think, because they just have this deadline. Commercially, it is better to have something that half works, so you can start selling it, get revenue already, and then make even more money by fixing all the bugs afterwards. And that's how whole the world is running, if you ask me. But if you put 10 times more time, well, even twice, if you put two times the amount of time into code that they do now, then that probably should already be possible to just never have bugs. Although the 10 times is probably closer to what is required. The way I code is just really time consuming. Other people would do what I've been doing now in 2 months, and then you would have something that does the same thing, all those test applications. But then you would try to use it to write yet another application that's a little bit more complex, and then you would have bugs. So in the end, maybe you have to put in the same amount of time. I'm not very sure though that my code is that robust. Currently, I will not really claim that I have bug-free code, but it definitely is robust in the sense that it's highly likely to actually work and then keep working in if you make it if you make big changes or make it a lot more complex. While if you do it in 2 months, then it's definitely not going to work if you make it more complex. It's just one bug after another, right? House of cards. Well, the problem with C++ is that you're kind of forced to put a lot of time into it before you have your first working application. That's probably the expensive word for that. Let's say time to market is longer or something like that. You do need to have more than other languages, I think. Write a lot of code as a code base before you can even have your first working application. And Vulkan is the same. Also requires a lot of code before you get your first working thing. And on the way I work is the same. But I have already worked 20 years on most of this code. I'm using my Git submodules, which have done exactly that. I have literally worked my whole life almost on those Git submodules. Because I'm building on that, this is not going to take 20 years, but a lot less, and still be robust. What was I doing? I have no idea. Why this file, this line? I already edited that one here, so Yeah, it just should compile, and it doesn't. Oh, this line. Base class incomplete type. Well, if you write it as an open source project, you can use my code. Although I never found the time to write a lot of documentation, so yeah. Not sure. Depends, you know. If you have to write something that is super complex, but probably at a level that you need at least 10 years of C++ experience already before you can even think about that. And then using my Git submodules would start to pay off, despite that they don't have documentation, I think. I do have some documentation. So I'm especially thinking about, of course, the whole bunch. So especially then the tasks. So that plus all the tasks. And that one uses the thread pool, and it uses IVO if you do any IO. So it drags in everything else. I had to write, I wrote my debugging library first, so I could do debugging. And then the next one is then this Git submodule, which extends the debugging support on top of libcwd. And then I have utils, which is used everywhere, or just loosely, well, uncorrelated more or less utility things. And then if you want to start to do threading, you need thread safe to get something robust. And thread pool, I guess. And then if you want to do IO, you could just use EVIO, which uses both. And then on top of that, we have the tasks. And then I started to write specific tasks. So you have socket task, resolver task, block task, XML RPC task, XCP tasks. Quite a lot of tasks already here. Dbus task. The more tasks, the merrier, because yeah, you don't have to do that again, right? Okay, so git diff. I'll add this to. Okay, cool. Prepare to be flooded every day with 1 or 2 sessions. I don't know how YouTube does that. I have like 6,000 subscribers, and the number of viewers that I have is now top at the moment 10 people. So I don't know what everyone else is doing. That do is still subscribe, but they probably ignore the flood of emails that I get about me going online. I should include this comment in Hello triangle application. The earlier the better. That's application. Oh, okay. Can remove it there. I made a really lot amount of header changes. That was so funny and so weird. I removed the public and then after that, oh my god. The amount of changes required. That was ridiculous. I still have only a vague idea why. I think it's because I have a few object libraries. And then by using public, they shared their current source directory with each other. By removing that, then suddenly all the individual object libraries, CMake object libraries, only saw their own source directory. And then had problems including the headers of the others. That's probably what happened, yeah. Still not super happy with the dot dots. It is an artifact, I think, of being a mess. I was gonna say not having object libraries in every folder, but it's probably not true, because then I realized that if, say, no. I probably just, I don't know. Technically, this is perfectly correct and better than using angle brackets and then put Vulkan in front of it. But I never had and never saw a project that is doing that a lot, which makes it very questionable. So yeah, a lot of those. Just add that, more dot dots. The art entering debug output. That's from yesterday. There's another one. Good. So basically, can commit this. But it adds hello. It adds the hello triangle. And the whole directory. And I don't want to add it actually. Not really. No. Not to test. Let's make a new directory called example. I think I can remove this box. Of course I can remove them. But they're not called box for nothing. Yeah. In source. Well, I have tests here. So they're kind of Vulkan examples. So source stands for the Linux viewer source code. Yeah, so let me get here. A new directory. And I'm going to bluntly copy the CM from tests to examples. Almost empty. And I can just move this from there to examples. And then things should already work, shouldn't they? Go to examples. Well, this is just that, and then inside here also have a CM, but that didn't change. Yanko, maybe, but I never did. And then doesn't seem that interesting either, because it's just a handful of viewers. 10 viewers, I mean, who cares where they are from then? If you have 10,000 viewers, then maybe it starts, statistically be an interesting thing. You could say every time there are different viewers, then maybe. Yeah, I have the feeling that this works, but you'll never know for sure, of course. So let's destroy everything. I wanted to say delete, but then I saw this, and I said destroy. Don't ask me why. It is destroying though, because I'm going to remove the whole object directory. So we were running the wrong hello triangle. It's the alias HT runs it from test. I was just being extra careful, but rightfully so, I suppose. HT. Samples. Source HT, but it still works. Okay, and the files that we have inside examples. Yeah, I don't want to add that one, so I'll add them manually, I guess. You can add something like that. Yeah, I suppose that works. Already looked at it twice, I think, but new files did not pop up in the div. I don't get it though. Why would I have to include this with an infos in front of it? It's override. I guess that device create info is just forward declared in logical device. So I have to include it here. Maybe it should make a difference between compiling the Linux viewer itself, Vulkan engine itself, and using it. So I could add a special define, so I know that I'm compiling Linux viewer, and then when that is not defined, include this at the bottom of that, so that I only have to include this, and I'll get that for free. Because I do not include it, yeah, it's not working. I think I'll just do that. I need to add a define that's only defined while compiling. The Vulkan engine. So the private means that it's only used while compiling the Vulkan engine. Hey, that should work. I suppose I can test that. It is not defined. That didn't look good. That went way too fast. Well, it's not defined, that's one thing. But it was apparently also not defined while compiling the Linux engine, the Vulkan engine itself. Maybe I have to change it. Touching is not enough. What the hell is going on? Why is it not being compiled? I mean, it looks pretty empty, so maybe it's not even used. It's not used. That to be used. Globbing all .cxx files. What is this? I'm stumped. How is it possible that I cannot get my engine to recompile? Pick something important. Make a significant change. Very significant change. Oh, it's compiling it. It is not showing, and it's only showing the errors. Oh, verbose is just turned off. Really? Thought it was still on for some reason. It is on. It should be on. Only seeing a linking here. Oh, here's something. It's being compiled. This is compiling what? Heavy triangle. Yeah, so I would see that's tests. Test. That's not Vulkan engine. Vulkan queues. This is the Vulkan engine. There it is. Okay, so that gets defined while compiling the Vulkan engine, and then it gets not defined at some point. This is not defined, and there it is compiling a test. This is still Vulkan, source Vulkan, this is source tests. So it works. So no. In the meantime, I lost my C tags again, of course. Now we go to Vulkan logical device, at least I hope. Yep, there we are. And then I guess the idea is that something like that, right? There's a shitload of for declarations. Maybe I should include all of them. Really? Uh-oh. It depends. If they're being used in virtual function, then I suppose I should. Repair physical device features. Yeah, it is a virtual function. Got to admit that. Yeah, it's kind of only this one, I think, that's being used in a virtual function. So how many virtuals do I have? That's all of them. Well, these are VK things. That's not the same. That should already be included. Somewhere. That's strange. So while compiling the Vulkan engine, it tries to include this. It should never happen because that define is not defined. Of course, I just had to kill it. Highlighting. Can I still get that back? Nope. I would say that it was compiling this shade resource base, which is this one, which is not defining it. Yeah, exactly. It's not defining it. Dark channel, no I don't. So I'm trying to include this because it's not defined, but it should have been defined. Aha. What the? Yeah, it should have been defined, but it's not because, why not? I guess this is just another object lib. It's a shader builder object lib. Aha. Yeah, no, it worked. It worked. I don't know what I have. Cannot be COVID. Because that is finished, isn't it? Yeah, I just have a fork in my throat. Stay quiet. Well, yeah, I was here, I think. Or wasn't I? Logical device.h. I was here. So now I just include the logical device and then I get the definition of that one as well. That's good. Now I guess the same thing could happen for application. So Vulkan application, find it, the header file here, Look for virtual functions. Queue priority. But yeah, this is passed by value, so that's probably something that's not forward declared. It's already defined there. Instance create info. That would definitely be a candidate. And it is forward declared. And what about device create info? Not even used. MQ. It's a friend. Okay, so the header file that I changed before, and now I lost it. Wait a minute, this was that one, and I just changed, I think, logical device. So just copy this. Looks like an info again. Instance create info. Was that defined? Instance create info. It looks like it's defined here, or not. Vulkan defaults. Probably this one. Info's instance create info. Perfect. It makes sense. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, there we go. Yeah, why is it still thinking that tests hello triangle should exist? What is this? Oh, because I'm in that directory. So before I was editing these files, my scripts are too smart. It was like, yeah, it doesn't exist here. Wait, the whole directory doesn't exist. Let me see if I can find it. And I just edited it. In the meantime, we were in a directory that didn't exist anymore. Whoops. Yeah, so now the error is gone. More header files. Well, it's kind of the same thing, right? I just don't like to have to include pipeline stuff. On the other hand, these are really, really pipeline-ish things. Namely the base classes that I need for my pipeline characteristic. And there is not another header that I can hijack for that. We do need window. At least if I keep initialize here. But I was just included like that. No, I think we're done. Might make more changes while I'm writing the documentation, but yeah, and then this is the last major thing that I have to write and implement in the Vulkan engine before I can even say that I covered all the things that are in on the Vulkan tutorial. It's a pretty basic thing, but yeah, don't have it yet. Okay. Wait, now I already add my dogs. I didn't want to do that. No, well, I just won't push it yet, I guess. It's committed anyway. Not stage for commit. Okay, let's stop with this. Yeah, default I guess. Dark channel. I don't know. Probably. But if that would happen to me, then I would conclude that I worked, that I pushed to it from a different folder. So I have just multiple checkouts. You cannot really get a merge conflict unless someone else pushed. And if you're the only one, then you have been the one. So if you do multiple checkouts and then push from both of them, then you can get merge. Then it's necessary to merge, and then you can get conflicts theory. Let's undo the doc. Git restore staged. Git restore file to discard changes in working directory. No, thank you. Not staged for commit. Oh, okay. I don't want to. Actually, I want to do everything except the doc. It's probably easier to add everything and then undo the docs, because it's quite a lot. Well, actually, everything is in source, so I might as well do git add source. And then everything is added except docs. Commit my ass. Oh, I did add, yeah. Commit, exactly. Uh-oh, what was it? Compiling? It's your dark channel. LV compiling. I don't know anymore. Vulkan engine. Oh, it was still here. Okay, the market is now defined while compiling the Vulkan engine. No, I can't remember what else I changed. What else significant thing I changed? It's just whatever. What did I do? 1, 2, 2, 1. It's this. Then I can eat lunch, and then I'll get a visitor, and then I'll continue writing the documentation for this. Hey, A4, I was just leaving. You think very hard. Four. Sorry, man. I was going to eat lunch, and then I'll get a visitor. I can still have a quick look at what is this? That is a make or something. Make check on serve, right? Still on a large font, lucky you. Okay. Yeah, so this page is more or less finished, and it says, hey, we're gonna write this, but before we can do this, we have to do all of that. And then at the end, after successfully finished, you should now find an executable in... I knew it! I can start all over again. I just lost years of my life. Oh wait, it's just one word. Chapters. I should never have done that. Blah 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 blah. Examples. Ah, it is fixed. You can just write that and then reload the page. How beautiful is that? Oh, it jumps to the, still jumps to the top. Some reason, if I'm on GitHub, it doesn't do that, but locally it does do that, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so after this successfully finished, you should find an executable in build their source examples, hello triangle, that will draw a triangle. The next chapter goes over the source code used and describes in detail how it is built up. Okay, well, then that's what we should do in the next chapter, which is called configuration, but maybe it shouldn't be called configuration. How shall I call it? This guy has a tutorial structure. Is that required? Maybe I add that sometime in the future, once I have actually a structure. So you have a kind of an overview here, what it takes to draw a triangle. So I could go over this and then point at the part that is doing that. So this whole Vulkan tutorial is about drawing a triangle. Seriously. Looks like that, doesn't it? Not drawing triangle. No, the triangle is being drawn without vertex buffers also, and then we get vertex buffers. I could kind of follow it. Now, I tried to contact this guy and say, hey, are you okay with me ripping your whole structure, your whole website structure? But I couldn't find his email address. So I found him on Twitter and I sent a tweet reaction. Like, I can't find your email address, can you email me? I even gave my email address, but I didn't receive any email from him, so he probably didn't see it, or he thought that I was a spammer or something like that. So now I'm really ripping into detail his chapter structure. I don't think he can complain. But okay, would have been nice if I told him in advance. He's got to hear it from me and not from someone else. And that was not dramatic enough. You want to visit my website, A4? Well, I just started it. But that's where it's gonna show up. And so far I have introduction and getting started, but at the end it doesn't even refer yet to the hello triangle. But for the rest the page is already the same. So yeah, I kind of have an overview, I don't need that yet, or whatever. Origin, what it takes to draw a triangle. That's a summary of everything. Maybe should refer to this. I don't have anything to add to it. Yeah, I can just refer to the overview over the vulkantutorial.com. Then at least the guy gets something back from my side, a link. Development environment, yeah, that's gonna be Linux. I won't talk about that, I think. I want to go straight to the triangle here. You could call it drawing a triangle. I'm not creative, I guess. I think I'm going to steal his structure. So I have drawing a triangle, and then after that we get vertex buffers and uniform buffers and stuff like that. So configuration must become drawing a triangle. I already have that. I can just delete configuration then. My configuration is already put somewhere else. So let's delete that. And then my guess is that if I wrote it correctly, then I just do make. Maybe not. I don't know, actually. At least I tried. I wrote make, and I even started my website again. So let it work. Okay, we'll go here. Yep, now it's gone. Introduction, getting started, drawing a triangle. So we can click on introduction, and we have a next button. Getting started, which also has a next button, which jumps to the next page, base code. But yeah, all of this is nonsensical then. I have to put something else there. Set up. Nah. Let's start with a link to this. Huh? I don't think I need these setup things anymore. What I mean, even the directories. Yeah, okay, we'll have an overview, I guess. Anyway. Overview. But life isn't that easy, I'm afraid. I'll have to steal something from here first. Namely the header. The title here is overview. Yeah, no. Overview. If I call this overview, now we have a billion times overview. Can't be it, right? Did it automatically pick that up or not? Not convinced. Let me see. It did. So yeah, overview. Now this is the same as that, because it's just a table of contents. What shall I use for headers? On this page we already have a Linux viewer, and then we have drawing a triangle. And I want to start with describing what is required, which is basically I just link to that site. Maybe put something else here and leave that as overview. I guess I have drawing a triangle here. But if I rename this drawing a triangle, it also appears here. So then you have drawing a triangle, and it's kind of the question is what comes after that, right? And what comes after it is overview, and then all the whole list that is mentioned here. Physical device, logical device, stuff like that. So we want this to be overview. Then that is overview. Well, then what is this? Sorry, David, I only saw it now. You mean what's playing right now or not? Or the previous one? Probably have them both. This is what is playing right now. Yeah, I can't give you a link because they removed it. But at least you get the title and stuff. It used to be from tunetank.com/epic, but they removed the whole epic thing. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna eat. If anyone actually wants to help, tell me what I should use here for titles. Or I'm going to ask my dear friend GPT-4. It's not gonna help, right? I can think about this.